From translation, NKJV New King James Version, this 145th day of the year. Today we are reading passages Nehemiah 4-6, Nehemiah chapter 4, verses 1 to 23. But it so happened, when Sanballat heard that we were rebuilding the wall, that he was furious and very indignant, and mocked the Jews. And he spoke before his brethren and the army of Samaria, and said, What are these feeble Jews doing? Will they fortify themselves? Will they sacrifice? Will they finish it in a day? Will they revive the stones from the heaps of rubbish, stones that are burned? Now Tobiah the Ammonite was beside him, and he said, Whatever they build, if even a fox goes up on it, he will break down their stone wall. Hear, O our God, for we are despised. Turn their reproach on their own heads, and give them as plunder to a land of captivity. Do not cover their iniquity, and do not let their sin be blotted out from before you. For they have provoked you to anger before the builders. So built we the wall, and all the wall was joined together up to half its height, for the people had a mind to work. Now it happened, when Sanballat, Tobiah, the Arabs, the Ammonites, and the Ashdodites heard that the walls of Jerusalem were being restored, and the gaps were beginning to be closed, that they became very angry, and all of them conspired together to come and attack Jerusalem and create confusion. However, we made our prayer to our God, and because of them we set a watch against them day and night. Then Judah said, The strength of the laborers is failing, and there is so much rubbish that we are not able to build the wall. And our adversaries said, They will neither know nor see anything, till we come among them and kill them and cause the work to cease. So it was, when the Jews who lived near them came, that they told us 10 times, From whatever place you turn, they will attack us. Therefore I positioned men behind the lower parts of the wall at the openings, and I set the people according to their families, with their swords, their spears, and their bows. And I looked and arose and said to the nobles, to the leaders, and to the rest of the people, Do not be afraid of them. Remember the Lord, great and awesome, and fight for your brethren, your sons, your daughters, your wives, and your houses. And it happened, when our enemies heard that it was known to us, and that God had brought their plot to nothing, that all of us returned to the wall, every one to his work. So it was from that time on, that half of my servants worked at construction, while the other half held the spears, the shields, the bows, and war armor, and the leaders were behind all the house of Judah. Those who built on the wall, and those who carried burdens, loaded themselves so that with one hand they worked at construction, and with the other hand held a weapon. Every one of the builders had his sword girded at his side as he built, and the one who sounded the trumpet was beside me. Then I said to the nobles, the rulers, and the rest of the people, The work is great and extensive, and we are separated on the wall, far from one another. Wherever you hear the sound of the trumpet, rally to us there. Our God will fight for us. So we labored in the work, and half of the men held the spears from daybreak until the middle of the day. Likewise at the other times, I said the thing, while I mustered you with your sword and your bow. Thus in those days I did neither what I had done before, neither I nor my brethren nor the servants of the kings, nor did the horsemen take their armor, but each one helped with his labor. Nehemiah chapter 5, verses 1-19. And there was a great outcry of the people and their wives against their Jewish brethren. For there were those who said, We, our sons and our daughters are many. Therefore let us get grain, that we may eat and live. There were also some who said, We are mortgaging our fields, our vineyards, and our houses to get grain because of the famine. There were also those who said, We have borrowed money for the king's tax on our fields and our vineyards. Yet now our flesh is as the flesh of our brethren, our children as their children. And indeed, we are forcing our sons and our daughters to be servants, and some of our daughters have been brought into slavery. It is not in our power to help it, since other men have our fields and our vineyards. So I was very angry when I heard their outcry and these words. Then I consulted with myself, and I rebuked the nobles and the rulers, and said to them, In fact, we are exacting usury from our brethren. So I called a great assembly against them. And I said to them, According to our ability we have redeemed our Jewish brethren who were sold to the Gentiles. Now indeed, will you even sell your brethren? Then they were silenced and found nothing to say. Then I said, What you are doing is not good. Should you not walk in the fear of our God, because of the reproach of the Gentiles, our enemies? Likewise, I and my brethren and my servants are lending them money and grain. Please, let us stop this usury. Please restore to them this very day their fields, their vineyards, their olive groves, and their houses, also 100th part of the money, the grain, the new wine, and the oil that you have charged them. Then they said, We will restore it, and nothing will be missing from them. We will do as you say. And I called the priests, and took an oath from them that they would do according to this promise. Then I shook out the fold of my garment and said, So may God shake out each man from his house, and from his labor who does not perform this promise. And all the assembly said, Amen, and praised the Lord, and the people did according to this promise. Moreover, from the time that I was appointed to be their governor in the land of Judah, from the 20th year until the 32nd year of King Artaxerxes, 12 years, neither I nor my brethren ate the governor's provisions. But the former governors who were before me laid burdens on the people, and took from them bread and wine, besides 40 shekels of silver. Yes, even their servants bore rule over the people, but I did not do so because of the fear of God. Indeed, I also continued the work on this wall, and we did not buy any land. All my servants were gathered there for the work. And the leaders of Judah gave the people supplies. The priests, the Levites, the leaders of the fathers' houses, and the priests and the Levites helped the people. Now the former governor, who was before me, had laid heavy burdens on the people, and took from them bread and wine and 40 shekels of silver. Even his servants lorded it over the people. But I did not do so because of the fear of God. Remember me, my God, for good, according to all that I have done for this people. Nehemiah chapter 6, verses 1 to 19. Now it so happened, when Sanballat, Tobiah, Geshem the Arab, and the rest of our enemies heard that I had rebuilt the wall, and that there were no breaks left in it, though at that time I had not yet hung the doors on the gates, that Sanballat and Geshem sent to me, saying, Come, let us meet together among the villages in the plain of Ono. But they thought to do me harm, so I sent messengers to them, saying, I am doing a great work, and I cannot come down. Why should the work cease while I leave it and go down to you? But they sent me this message 4 times, and I answered them in the same manner. Then Sanballat sent his servant to me in the same manner, the 5th time, with an open letter in his hand. In it was written, It is reported among the Gentiles, and Geshem also says, that you and the Jews intend to rebel. Therefore, according to these rumors, you are rebuilding the wall that you may be their king. And you have also appointed prophets to proclaim concerning you at Jerusalem, saying, There is a king in Judah. Now these rumors will be heard by the king. Therefore come, and let us take counsel together. So I sent to him, saying, Such things as you are saying have not been done, but you are inventing them out of your own heart, for all of them were afraid that their plots would be discovered. Therefore they tried to make us afraid, saying, Their hands will be weakened in the work, and it will not be done. Now, O God, strengthen my hands. Afterward I came to the house of Shemaiah the son of Delaiah, the son of Mehetabel, who was a son of Berechiah, and he was confined at home. He said, Let us meet together in the house of God, within the temple, and let us close the doors of the temple, for they are coming to kill you. Indeed, they are coming to kill you by night. But I said, Should such a man as I flee? And who is there such as I who would go into the temple to save his life? I will not go in. And I realized that God had not sent him, but that he pronounced this prophecy against me, because Tobiah and Sanballat had hired him. For this reason he was hired, that I should be afraid and act that way and sin, so that they might have matter for an evil report, that they might reproach me. My God, remember Tobiah and Sanballat, according to these their works, and also the prophetess Noadiah, and the rest of the prophets who would have made me afraid. So the wall was finished on the 25th day of the month Elul, in 52 days. And when all our enemies heard of it, all the nations around us feared, and they fell far in their own esteem, for they perceived that this work was done by our God. Also in those days the nobles of Judah sent many letters to Tobiah, and the letters of Tobiah came to them. For many in Judah were sworn to him, because he was the son-in-law of Shechaniah the son of Ara, and his son Jehohanan had married the daughter of Meshullam, the son of Berechiah. Also they reported his good deeds before me, and reported my words to him. And Tobiah sent letters to frighten me.